And to be quite frank, I didn't see anybody who was like me using the platform. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. I am back with yet another video, and this one is going to get interesting. I cannot wait to get into this one. I know if you follow me, if you've been following me on my social media journey, you're probably like, what is happening? What is going on? Don't fret. This is in past tense. I am totally still using Notion each and every day. But I think it is an important topic to talk about. Before we get any further into this discussion, if you are new here, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. I do all things Notion, craft, DIY, and creative here. So if you are into those kinds of things, you would definitely enjoy this channel. So let's just go ahead and talk about it. Here is one of the main reasons why I quit using Notion. And to be quite frank, I didn't see anybody who was like me using the platform. Here's the thing, when you look up Notion and you're trying to do a little bit more research on what the platform is and what it can do for you in your day-to-day, there is a sea of, I would say, two categories, and obviously everybody doesn't fit in these categories all the time, but either it's like a student, hence like maybe a high school, college age student who uses Notion primarily for studies. There's tons and tons of templates out there that goes into further detail about how you can manage it for your studies. And honestly, I do think it is a great platform for students to manage their classes, especially in college. But however, I'm not a college student. I haven't been for a long while. And while I can pick up on some tips and tweak it to my liking, which I have done in the past, I don't really resonate with the content, to be honest, because it's not me, it's not my life. And the second group of people that I see when I look up Notion content is really tech bros. These are people who know the lingo behind the text, who are really into it. They're using like shortcuts and things and getting into the HTML, like all that digital stuff, which obviously there is clearly an audience out there. They have thousands of views and thousands of subscribers. But again, I don't really fall into that category. Like, while I am tech savvy and I know how to navigate overall the platform, I don't really want to get into the weeds of what new HDMI and what new, like, insert random tech name here about the platform and how it can do. And it's too much. It's on my head. I can't even explain it. It's just so too much. When you see that kind of content, it kind of feels like, oh, maybe this isn't a tool that I can use. This tool isn't for me. Maybe it's something that is specifically for students. It kind of makes you feel a little bit out of place. And especially when you're looking at these very tech savvy and tech-y kind of people, it kind of goes over your head. Like I said, I couldn't even like really explain. If you've seen it, you kind of know what I mean, you know? And ultimately, like for me, like I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I am a content creator, I podcast, I work a 9-to-5 job. I don't really see people who fit into really any of those categories. Maybe content creation, but again, I feel like I see more of that on the techie side of content creation, not really on just kind of a flat overview. Sometimes I do find like certain creators, like lifestyle creators, they will say, oh, I have a template, a Notion template, like how do I like do my content? But it's not really their main. They're not really explaining how to use it. If I was like completely brand new, there's really no way that I could really tweak it and understand it to my liking. So hence why I initially stopped using it after I picked it up. None of the people that does the content look like me. And it's not even just the moms, it's not even just the content creators, the 9-to-5ers, it's not even all of that. When you scroll down to see, if you search like Notion templates, Notion tips, there aren't really too many people who look like me, too many people of color. And of course, obviously this is not all, as I will say throughout this video probably several times, because I know somebody is typing, I know it's someone out there. Obviously, it's not always all, but overwhelmingly, Notion content is overwhelmingly male, and it's overwhelmingly white male. It's not a lot of people who look like me, and it's really hard. Like we say this all the time, like representation matters, and it's really hard to see yourself using the product. It's really hard to see yourself using the items if people who are explaining how to use it and showing you that this is the way that they use it and here's how you can do it too doesn't look like you. It kind of seems like, oh, maybe this isn't really for me kind of thing. And that was overwhelmingly the main reason why like I quit using it. Because it's like, okay, maybe this is a student thing. Maybe this is a white male tech bro kind of thing. And maybe I just don't fall into the realm. And again, let's just be real. Like, you want to see faces. You want to see people who resemble you. You want to see people who are doing the things that you are doing to make it seem plausible. Because sometimes it just, when you are just looking at a certain type of person and it's just a sea of a certain type of person, you kind of feel like you aren't supposed to be here. And that's not saying that these people who create content are saying this or implying this. Obviously, that's not saying that at all. It's something that is just, let's be frank, let's be real. It just is what it is. There are amazing content creators out there. Don't get me wrong. I have learned from the student. I have learned from the tech bros. I have learned a lot of stuff from them. But again, like, you have to be able to see it to believe it. You have to be able to have the people that look like you in the places to help you understand. And I think, like, while there are a ton of like Notion 101 things, I think it's really hard to find something that is just bare bones. I think there are a lot of people out there who are just like, I don't know what this platform is. It looks intriguing. It looks like it's something that I would love to do, but I don't even know what this is. I need step one. And then a lot of the content, while there is like Notion 101 stuff out there, I still feel like you kind of have to come into that knowing some kind of basic knowledge. It is something about seeing somebody who looks like you. It is something to see, to relate to the person who is behind the screen, who is doing things like you. Whether you're a mom, whether you're a 9-to-5er, whether you are someone who creates content, have a podcast, have many of these different hats. It's something to connect with the person, to be like, oh, okay, I see how they are doing it and I can tweak it to my life. Or, hey, I didn't even think that Notion can be used to manage my household chores, to manage being a mom, to manage like my kid's soccer game or something. It's just not anything out there. So sometimes you have to see it to believe it kind of thing. But obviously, y'all know I stuck around with Notion. While I did stop, I came back to it because ultimately it's what I need. The product works. Ultimately, the product works. I have done a lot of digging and a lot of tweaking. And yes, it does take some time to get to learn, but it really does work for my day-to-day life. It is what I like to call a digital bujo, where you can create it and make it however you like. But also with it being something digital and can go from platform to platform, meaning like I can do something on my desktop, and if I need to go on a run and I think of like some kind of content idea, or I get a call like, hey, your son's doctor's appointment is rescheduled, I can instantly just pick up Notion on my phone while I'm out on the go and do a few tweaks. And honestly, that's something that a planner cannot give me, specifically like with content creation. Like, things I think of for my content, it sometimes comes to me at night, sometimes in the shower, sometimes where I'm on the go, sometimes at work. And I don't always have my planner sitting right there and let me jot this down and change it, but I will most likely have my phone where I can hop on, jot down the idea, send it over. Like, I can really collaborate. It makes it super easy to collaborate. And I know I have a lot of people who are from like the paper planning community. I think it's a perfect companion with paper planning. I still use a paper planner on a daily alongside with my Notion, and it's just magnifique. It just specifically worked for it. I find it a lot different than like a digital kind of planner that you would use in like GoodNotes and stuff, because it's already made for you. Sure, you can tweak it, maybe not. I don't really get into those. I don't really like those. But for it to be whatever I want, whenever I want it, if I'm just like, hey, this section is just not working for me, I can edit it. I can move it around. I can switch it to what I need it to be. And it's just, like I said, a digital bujo that if one day it works well and then the next you're just like, not working anymore, just like that, I can change it. You can't necessarily do that with an actual digital planner because it's all set up for you. And I'm sure like you can buy another one, but who got time to be buying digital planners left and right? Also, if you are like me and you're just like, I have to sometimes write things down. Like, I'm a good lister. I love a good brain dump. Something about like physically writing stuff down on an actual piece of paper really does help me get things out. So Notion can be that really good companion if you are still something that has to have something realistic, but needs something on the go. I think it can pair very good to become like the hybrid planner. But yeah, guys, those are just my thoughts. I will continue to create Notion content. I want to make it more accessible to people who are like me, who have busy lives, who look like me, who aren't just a student. You know, I want to make it accessible because I do think it's a really good tool that can fit in any kind of life. But let me know, have you ever been intrigued by Notion? Have you felt the way that I felt? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Okay, but have you guys tried this though? I'm not a Pepsi fan. I'm usually a Coke girl, but I love Peach, so I had to try it. It's giving cotton candy. It's really freaking good. If you like sweet stuff, definitely try it. Pick it up before Easter comes.